There's no doubt that Liverpool are taking a chance on Bruce Grobbelaar's fitness. Grobbelaar plays despite still feeling a painful injury to his left elbow sustained here against York on Tuesday. Bill Shankly is to announce his Liverpool team as the same as last year. Well, it's not so easy to predict the lineup these days. Today, Craig Johnston and Steve McMahon are back in place of John Walk and Kenny Dalglish. And it could be that Jan Molby, usually the sweeper, will have more of an attacking role this afternoon. Howard Kendall's side holds no such surprises. Kevin Richardson, again, a reliable deputy for Kevin Sheedy, who has knee trouble. Alan Harper is preferred to Adrian Heath as substitute, and there's one Everton newcomer to the special stress of a derby game. It's left-back Neil Poynton, who had never even visited Anfield until today. Jan Molby is up alongside Ian Rush at the kick-off with the battle for supremacy on Merseyside, rarely holding more national significance than this. Everton, the champions, with Jan Molby perhaps as an auxiliary attacker here. They're third in the First Division. Everton, the league leaders. The opening moments usually so frantic. Liverpool have the free kick. Ian Rush has been feeling a groin strain, and he was one of the Liverpool doubts. It's taken by Beglin. And Molby trying to use his height and his bulk. Sammy Lee, then McMahon. It's one for Rush to chase, but Pat van den Hauwe and then Gary Stevens with two rather composed headers, with Everton defending the goal in front of the Kop. A Kop on which blue and red are stood side by side. Here's Mark Lawrence. Everton with such a settled pattern of playing, basically a 4-4-2 formation, and Liverpool who seem to chop and change their style. There's no sweeper, it seems, on view today, and Mark Lawrenson is playing at right back, with Gillespie and Hansen in the centre of defence. Craig Johnston on the right of midfield. Molby. Losing out as Peter Reid comes forward for Everton. Craig Johnston was left out of the starting lineup against York on Tuesday, but he came on as substitute and invigorated the Liverpool performance. Poynton with a throw. That's Richardson, and Grobbelaar right in line. Hansen. Here's Trevor Steven, and Beglin staying down. He mistimed the tackle. Such was his urgency to try and win the ball. Trevor Steven was actually a little too quick there for Jim Beglin, and Joe Worrell straight away calling for attention to the Liverpool left-back. You can see Beglin going in. Typical early challenge in a derby match, but he twisted as he fell. Kenny Dalglish announced yesterday that he had 7 players under treatment. I don't think Beglin was one of those, but some of the names were kept under wraps, particularly that of Alan Hansen, who's been struggling to beat an injury this week. And Hansen lost sharp there from the long throw. Everton have the corner. Trevor Steven to take. Gary Stevens and Pat van den Hauwe waiting around the near post where McMahon met it for Liverpool. Here's Reid. Sharp and Lineker repositioning in the middle. Here's Reid. And Richardson, good save. Not just in the handling, but in the anticipation from Grobbelaar, who seemed to be taking off before Richardson let fly. So that will do for Liverpool goalkeepers' confidence no end of good. Well, last season, Everton won here for the first time for more than 14 years and went on to do the double over the old enemy. And, of course, that was perhaps the key to the confidence that brings a championship-winning side that Howard Kendall produced. Richardson on Sharp, on Johnston rather. And Johnston away from Poynton. Whelan! Neville Southall was left backpedaling by a probing cross from Craig Johnston. And Ronnie Whelan coming into that area beyond the far post where he's such an effective attacking force for Liverpool. But it was a difficult shot to take on the half volley. Tension, as always, running high. Mulby. Here's Lee. And the linesman is flagging. Rush shoots, Southall saves, but it is offside. Such a fiercely partisan atmosphere in the ground. It's laced usually with good humour on and off the field, but one or two of the tackles are producing reactions from those closest to the incident. And this time, Reid clattering into Mulby. The onus very much on Liverpool to go for the victory here and cut the gap. A draw would suit the Everton cause of a try and a mix-up between Lawrenson and Grobbelaar, and Lawrenson somehow has redeemed it because Richardson couldn't recover his balance when the goal was gaping. Now I wonder here whether the concern in protecting the goalkeeper's injury led to this extraordinary episode. Grobbelaar came, Lawrenson touched it, Richardson was down, it seemed a certain goal for Everton, but Lawrenson wrapped his foot round the ball and got it to safety. Well, Mark Lawrenson had to make up so much ground, and now it's the hands that give Grobbelaar cause for concern. And a buzz around the ground to suggest that the Everton fans feel that there might have been A decision awarded in their favour with that incident with Kevin Richardson. Whelan coming in with the header. And certainly an incident worth another look, particularly from the viewpoint of Kevin Richardson. Was he brought down, and should Everton have had a penalty? Stevens with the throw. Sharp. Howells again, suggesting there might have been a push on Sharp. Grobbelaar with one hand, and Bracewell lifts it back to where the goalkeeper can collect. Everton must feel here that if they can get enough ball into the box, that Grobbelaar's injury, which he's brought into the match from the midweek game against York, will be a liability to Liverpool. But it's been a first half of stops and starts through injuries, mostly through the competitive nature of the challenges. And Craig Johnston slow to pick himself up. Both players, Poynton, the Everton defender, and Johnston with their eyes on the ball. Stephen. Away goes Lineker, but Gillespie there first. Sharp settles for the throw. Poynton, and it certainly wasn't deliberate by Lee. And they'll have their free kick, and Poynton's run was definitely impeded. And it is Neil Poynton to take the free kick. And Hansen who concedes the corner. Pat van den Hauwe was steaming in behind the Liverpool captain. It might just pay Everton to bring the ball in close to Grobbelaar. And that's Sharp! Brian Sharp, who scored the winner in that very goal in this fixture last season. And the Everton striker climbed well there. Beaten in the air by Reid. Reid again. It's usually the players born on Merseyside who feel this match even more keenly than the others, if that's possible. Players like Sammy Lee. And Steve McMahon, who of course began his career with Everton. And the referee, Joe Worrell, experienced enough to take the nature of the fixture into account when ruling on the challenges. But he didn't like the way McMahon went in then. To reach Trevor Stephen. The referee was running back to the middle thinking it was a goal. But it's a corner. It's the side netting. The roar from this side of the ground stayed really in the throat. Mark Lawrenson deflected to Trevor Stephen's hard cross shot into the side netting. And the referee, Joe Worrell, His first instinct was that the ball had gone past Grobbelaar for a legitimate goal when it had hit the side netting. Reed. First half of stops and starts, and a number of players needing minor treatment for injuries. Joe Worrell just assessing the amount of stoppage time. And it's no time for a risk to be taken by an Everton defender. Poynton was well aware of that, with half-time beckoning. Of a goalless first half. Liverpool, it seemed, over-concerned about Bruce Grobbelaar's fitness, and they have defended rather tentatively in front of the goalkeeper. And Everton will feel that they should have had a penalty when Kevin Richardson was sent crashing when the ball was rolling towards the Liverpool goal line. But Mark Lawrenson got back and sent Richardson down as he did so to get the ball clear. Half-time though at Anfield, it's Liverpool 0, Everton 0.
The substitute for Liverpool is Kevin McDonald, and the substitute for Everton is Alan Harper.
The second half starts with both substitutes on. Kevin McDonald has taken over from Jan Molby, and for Everton, Alan Harper has replaced Paul Bracewell. Bracewell, who was nursing a training injury, was only pass fit yesterday. So that will mean a change, particularly in the Liverpool approach. It could well be that Craig Johnston will go forward alongside Ian Rush, with McDonald coming into midfield. But Jan Molby was the victim of a couple of stern tackles in the first half, so Craig Johnston will play the second half as a striker. Kendall down on the Everton bench for the second half. Of course, a former Everton player in games like this. Becklin. Stevens. And Stephen determined not to be caught in possession, but in too much of a hurry. It's tackle after tackle rather than pass after pass. But Reed gets the better of Hansen. Possibilities here for Everton. Lineker's in the middle. So to his Sharp and Richardson. It was a genuine opportunity for Everton. Superbly created for Richardson by Peter Reed. And he knows the significance of the miss. Harper. Rush. Good control from Shark, and good awareness too. Stevens galloped outside Trevor Steven, who used him as a decoy. Reed. Southall a little slow coming, but you can't fool the goalkeeper when he comes up with the ball. Johnston opting to shoot rather than try and take the ball round Neville Southall, and he buried it into the midriff of the Everton goalkeeper. But as Craig Johnston was away here, Southall seemed to hesitate, then he went, and then he got it. Stephen, a splendid turn. Brilliant save by Grobbelaar. It looked for all a goal for Trevor Stephen, which he would have earned with his superb turn here, an instant shot, and Grobbelaar at full stretch. Johnston, that was extravagantly done with the outside of the foot. And the trick by Reid. Johnston reacts angrily. Reid prepared to bandy words with him. Whelan, rush, and Reid getting the better of McMahon, but he was never going to get the ball second time, and the notebook is out, and I think Joe Worrell absolutely right. Hansen left in a heap by the touchline, but Peter Reid was burning a short fuse after his altercation with Craig Johnston a moment or two earlier. And now the commitment spills over, and he has his name taken. Whelan, Harper putting his side back into trouble. Harper going in, and Richardson. Harper again. Poynton's cross, well met by Hansen. Whelan. Sammy Lee scuttling up the touchline, but with not sufficient speed to beat Poynton to it. His role changed in the second half by the loss of the injured Mulby. He was playing in the centre of midfield. Johnston, MacDonald. They've kept Rush at arm's length at Everton. Lineker and Reid. Got a good angle here for a cross if he can get the better of Gillespie. Richardson. Now on Harper. Ratcliffe joining in. And Grobbelaar! And the gamble has failed. My impression was that the ball was deflected slightly, but Kevin Ratcliffe, who's only ever scored one league goal in his life, comes up with one here in a Merseyside derby that he'll never forget, and Grobbelaar will want to forget, but will be haunted. "16 minutes left. And Southall at the other end has to be alive. Well, Grobbelaar went down, he seemed to have the ball, and it rolled out of his grasp. And that was a signal for Kevin Ratcliffe to leap into the air. And it's a sea of blue around Anfield. MacDonald, and Rush gets the better of Southall, but not the third time. Having twice just touched the ball away from the goalkeeper's grasp. It was away from Southall there. Whelan. Southall had to come. Rush pilfered the ball once, then twice. But finally, he snaked out an arm, did Southall. Sharp wins it back. It's Everton voices that you can hear at Anfield now. Pointed. What can Liverpool muster? They're staring defeat in the face on their own ground against the old enemy, but they've still got Ian Rush. And Everton are grateful that they've got Southall. The Rush cutting edge is still sharp, and he nicked the ball away then. But Vandenhauwe was back to block, but it still needed some brave work here from Southall. Lineker. Can it be two for Everton? It is! A personal landmark for Gary Lineker amidst the passion of a Merseyside derby. He's achieved 30 goals in a season in club football for the first time. And he may well have put it beyond Liverpool's redress this time. In many ways, a definitive Lineker goal. Speed of thought and of movement. McDonald. Lineker. An instant shot, and Grobbelaar this time, you could see him not wanting to save with his left arm. He's been a little fortunate really throughout the match that Everton have hit their shots through the goalkeeper's right. This time it was to the left, and it was the good arm that was thrust out the right one. The referee has checked with one linesman. He's checked now with the other on the far side. We're into injury time for Liverpool in a losing cause. Lawrenson. And Johnson is offside. It breaks down again, as it has so often for Liverpool on the edge of the Everton area.
First aid post after the game, please.
Sharp, beaten by Gillespie. On the chest of Lee. The referee saw that from very close quarters. Rush, who's been so effective in these fixtures in the past and has been a real scourge of Everton. Whelan. Has Rush got one more shot in his locker? And the calmest of back passes from Trevor Steven, emphasising Everton's superiority at the end, though they had to work mighty hard to attain that superiority. Everton have a very significant victory. Kevin Ratcliffe's goal with 16 minutes left, followed up by a second from Gary Lineker. Lineker getting a little touch on Ratcliffe's shot for the first, and Bruce Grobbelaar who clearly was not fit. We'll look back on the manner of the first Everton goal, which turned the match away from Liverpool, and it'll need all his phlegmatic nature to cope with that, I'm sure. A final thought: Everton's two previous victories here in 1970 and last season have been in their last two championship winning seasons. Is that an omen for the destination of the title this year? The final score at Anfield, it's Liverpool 0, Everton 2.